Borders and shading can add color to a document and help to highlight important information. In this lesson, you'll apply shading to text, you'll apply borders to text, and you'll highlight text. The schedule here on the first page of our flyer still looks a little dull, but when we're finished, it'll look like this. We added this green shading behind the text, and we added this double-line border around the edges. Let's get started. In step 1, I'll press Ctrl Home, and then I'll scroll down so this tabbed text is at the top of the screen. We want to add some shading behind this text, so in step 2, I'll select these 5 paragraphs, and then in the paragraph group, I'll click the shading list arrow, and I'll click green accent 6 lighter 60%. Now I'll deselect the text, and the green shading has been applied to the entire width of the paragraphs, despite the tab settings we applied earlier. So in step 3, I'll select the 5 paragraphs again, and to reduce the size of the shaded area, I'll drag the left indent marker to the 3/4 inch mark on the ruler, and then I'll go over here and drag the right indent marker to the 5 3/4 inch mark. I'll deselect the text, and now the shading is indented as well. In step 4, we'll add a border to this shaded area. I'll select the paragraphs again, and in the paragraph group, you'll notice that the border button currently displays the bottom border style. We want to apply a different border style, so I'll click the list arrow, and on this list of various border styles, I'll click Outside Borders. Now I'll deselect the text, and this black outside border has been added. We want to customize this a bit, so in step 5, I'll select the paragraphs again, then I'll go back up, and you can see that this has become the Outside Borders button. The icon has changed. I'll click its list arrow, and I'll click No Border, which removes the border completely. Next, I'll click the list arrow again, and down at the bottom of the menu, I'll click Borders and Shading. The Borders and Shading dialog box opens, which we'll use to create a customized border. In step 6, here in the Settings section, I'll click Box, which gives us the basic type of border you can see here in the Preview section. I'll scroll down the Style list a bit, and I'll click this double line style. And now that the style is set, I'll click the Color list arrow, and I'll click Blue Accent 5, darker 25%. Then, to increase the border width, I'll click the Width list arrow, and I'll click the 1.5 point option. The preview here looks good, so I'll click OK. I'll deselect the text, and a 1.5 point dark blue double-line border has been added. Now in step 7, we want to format the text itself so it works better with the border and shading. So I'll select the paragraphs, and in the font group, I'll click the bold button. Then I'll click the font color list arrow, and I'll click Blue Accent 5, darker 25%. I'll deselect the text, and now it's bold dark blue, matching the color of the border. The column headings could stand out a bit more, so in step 8, I'll select just that line. Then in the font group, I'll click the launcher. And here in the font dialog box, if the font tab isn't active, just click it to bring it forward. Over here in the size list, I'll scroll down, and I'll click 14. Next, I'll click the font color list arrow, and then I'll click green accent 6, darker 25%. Then in the Effects section, I'll click the Small Caps checkbox. Now I'll click OK, I'll deselect the text, and it's now larger and formatted in green small caps. And by the way, don't worry if you see this white line. It won't appear if you print the document. Finally, I'll save our changes. To try these steps yourself, and to learn about highlighting text in a document, turn to page Word 64 in your book.